They were told they would never make it home, not one of them. The rescue team had given up. Search dogs stopped barking, helicopters vanished from the sky. Hope evaporated like morning mist. They were buried in snow and silence. No signal, no light, no sound, just cold and time slipping away. This is not just a survival story. It's about what happens when humanity vanishes, when nature takes over. And 3 people fight back with nothing but breath. You've heard stories of miracles, but this one was almost erased, buried under official reports, lost in bureaucratic fog because no one believed it could happen. Not in America, not in 2003, not in the Colorado Rockies, where winter doesn't warn, it attacks. We're talking about the Pine Ridge Avalanche, a name barely whispered. Even today, but for those 3 souls, it was everything. Their last hour, their worst fear, their only chance. And what happened next changed how we think about survival, about hope, about what's possible when all doors close. This matters because it could be you, trapped, alone, falling temperature, fading pulse. Would anyone come? Would you know what to do? Every winter, hundreds go missing in U.S. wilderness. Too many don't return, not because they weren't strong, but because they didn't know, or worse, because no one knew where to look. But in 2003, something broke the rules. 3 lives saved after 7 days, under 10 feet of snow, with no gear, no food, no heat, just will and a single phone battery. That's why this story must be told. It started as a weekend trip, nothing extreme. 2 friends and a sister, driving from Denver, heading to a remote cabin owned by Mark's uncle. Mark was the planner. Quiet guy, 32, software engineer, loved maps more than code, always carried a compass, even indoors. His best friend Jamal was different, outgoing, laughing loud, 29, taught high school science, volunteered at animal shelters, had that rare energy, made strangers feel like family. Then there was Sarah, Mark's younger sister, 25, art therapist, gentle voice, eyes that noticed everything. She didn't want to go at first. Work was busy. But Mark insisted. Come, he said. We need real air. So she came. They packed light. Backpacks, sleeping bags, a few books, sleeping bags, a few books, sleeping bags, a few books. No emergency beacon, no avalanche training. They didn't think they needed it. The forecast said, clear skies, low risk, just cold. The drive took 4 hours, winding roads, pine trees thick on both sides. Snow dusted every branch. Sunset painted the peaks gold. They arrived at dusk. The cabin stood small, wooden, smoke curling from the chimney. Someone had lit the pilot light earlier. Thank God. Inside smelled of pine and old fire. They dropped their bags, unzipped coats, built a fire, ate soup from cans, talked about nothing. Laughter filled the room. Sarah sketched the view. Jamal made up silly songs. Mark stared into the flames. Peace, real peace. They fell asleep early, exhausted from the week, from life. For a moment, everything was right. By midnight, wind screamed. Snow fell sideways. Trees bent like paper. Power went out. Lights flickered, then died. They woke to silence, not peaceful, oppressive. Outside, white sheets swallowed the world. No horizon, no road, no sky, just endless snow. Mark checked the radio. Static, cell phones, no signal. Jamal tried the generator. Dead. Sarah looked at the door. Here? It's already drifted, she said. Mark dug out the shovel, cleared a path. Only 2 steps before hitting a wall of snow. He backed inside. This is bad, he said. We're stuck. They rationed food, 1 meal a day, shared body heat, played cards by candlelight. On day 3, the roof groaned. A deep crack echoed. Sarah froze. Structural stress. Then came the boom, like thunder underground. The mountain moved. A low rumble grew. Then a roar, not wind, not animals. Snow, a wave, hurtling down the ridge, straight toward them. Mark shouted, "Get under the table!" They dove. Wood cracked. Glass exploded. The world tilted, then crushed. Darkness, darkness, total, silence, then pain. Mark woke first, head pounding. Mark woke first, head pounding. Mouth full of dust. Cold bit his face. He couldn't move. Something pressed on his chest. Breathing hurt. "Hello?" he whispered. No answer. He called louder. "Jamal? Sarah?" A weak moan. To his left, then coughing. "Sarah?" She was alive. He twisted, found her hand, squeezed. "I'm here," he said. "Stay awake. "Where's Jamal?" she asked. Mark called again. No response. He used his free hand. Dug through debris. Found a leg. Then an arm. Pulled. Jamal gasped. Blinked. "Am I dead?" "No," Mark said. "You're with us." They were buried, alive, but trapped, no light, no airflow, temperature dropping. Mark's mind raced. He remembered avalanche drills from college. Rule 1, conserve energy. Rule 2, create airspace. Rule 3, listen. He kicked upward, hit solid snow, 10 feet above. Hit solid snow. He kicked upward, hit solid snow, 10 feet above. More? Impossible to tell. He felt the walls, timber, snow slabs, ice, no way out. Sarah sobbed quietly. "Are we going to die?" Mark held her tighter. "No," he said. "We're getting out." But doubt crept in. Day 4. Stale air. Thirst burned. Food gone. Water from melted snow. Filtered through cloth. Drunk drop by drop. Jamal's leg was broken. Swelling. He stayed quiet. Didn't complain. Sarah drew on the wall. With charcoal. Sketches of trees. Of sunlight. Of home. Mark counted breaths. In, out, slow, to save oxygen. They spoke less. Words cost energy. On day 5, Sarah found the phone, her old flip phone. Still in her coat pocket, battery at 1%. She pressed call. No signal. She tried text. Same. But she didn't give up. She wrote a message. Trapped. Pine Ridge Trail. Sent it. Over and over. No send icon. Just vibration. Each try drained 1%. But she kept going. Hope in tiny bursts. Mark admired her, how she fought with silence, with patience. Jamal began hallucinating, saw his dog, called her name, wept, bit his lip to stay alert. Mark tied a belt around the leg, tight, to reduce swelling. Sarah sang, softly, songs from childhood. About rivers, and birds, and warm blankets. On day 6 the phone died, Sarah cried. Not for herself, for them, she thought. Now no one knows. Mark kissed her forehead. "We're still here. We matter." He tore pages from a book, folded them into shapes. Paper birds, hung them with thread. "They'll find us," he said. "The birds will tell them." Symbolic. But it gave strength. They named the space, called it the Hollow. Made rules. No despair allowed. No giving up dates. No last words. Just survival. Minute by minute, then sound. Faint, above. Voices? No. Wind? No. Closer. Mechanical, a drone, no dogs, barking, far off, but real, Mark yelled, as loud as he could. Sarah joined. Jamal beat the wall with his good foot. Thump, 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 thump. They waited. Silence returned. Had they imagined it? No. Minutes later, louder. Engines, shouting. "Anybody there?" Mark screamed. Sarah cried. Jamal laughed, then coughed. The noise stopped. Above them, dirt shifted. Snow cracked. Light pierced through. A hole, small, but bright. Human faces appeared. Shock, joy, relief. Rescuers widened the gap, roped down, wrapped them in thermal blankets. Air masks, hot liquid. Sarah whispered. "We made it." Mark nodded. Tears froze on his cheeks. They were pulled out, slowly. Carefully. At the surface, snowplows lined the ridge. 14 rescuers, 2 helicopters, 5 search dogs. Team leader stepped forward. "You're alive?" Mark looked at him. Search called off after 5 days. Too dangerous, too costly, but one volunteer refused. Her name was Elena Ruiz. Retired paramedic, lived 50 miles south. She watched weather patterns, saw a break in the storm, insisted on one last sweep, took drones, dogs, her own truck. She found tire tracks near Pine Ridge, half buried, led to the cabin site. Nothing visible, but she noticed disturbed snow and a faint signal. On her scanner, a repeating pulse, weak, from underground, text messages, sending into void. Her drone picked up the frequency, pinpointed the location. She called the team. They came fast, but doubted, until they heard the thumping. The rescue made news. For a day, then faded. But not for the survivors. Recovery took months. Jamal's leg healed, but he walked with a limp. Sarah developed PTSD. Nightmares, but also courage, started a foundation. For avalanche awareness, Mark quit his job, became a survival trainer, teaches people how to dig, how to breathe, how to wait. He says the key is not hope, it's routine. Structure, small victories like folding a paper bird or sending a message with no signal, believing someone might see. Elena Ruiz got no award, no medal. Ruiz got no award, no medal. She said she didn't want one. "I just followed the signal," she said. "The rest was them." Scientists studied the case. How did they survive 7 days? No food, extreme cold, oxygen so low. Answer, metabolic slowing. Body entered a hibernation-like state. Heartbeat slowed. Breathing shallow, brain activity reduced, like bears. Doctors called it the Pine Ridge effect, now studied in trauma units, could change how we treat avalanche victims. Instead of rushing, maybe wait, monitor, listen. The cabin was rebuilt, but not by Mark. He visits once a year, brings paper birds, hangs them on the tree outside. Sarah goes too. Jamal stays home, says the mountains scare him now, but he's proud. They all are. People ask, what kept you going? Sarah says, love. Jamal says, fear. Mark says, discipline. But the truth? All three. Love for each other, fear of dying, discipline to keep trying. That's what survival really is. Not luck, not miracles, but choices in darkness. When no one sees, you choose to breathe, you choose to speak, you choose to believe, even when the phone has 1% battery. Even when the roof collapses, even when the world forgets, you send the message, you fold the bird, you wait. And sometimes, against all odds, someone hears, someone comes, and light returns. This story isn't just about snow, or mountains, or even survival. It's about the human spirit, our ability to endure, to adapt, to connect, even when buried, even when silent. We are stronger than we know, and more resilient. Every winter, we face danger, but also opportunity to prepare, to learn, to care. You don't need to climb mountains to face your own avalanche. Life brings its own storms. Jobs lost, relationships broken, health failing, dreams shattered. In those moments, remember Pine Ridge, remember the three, buried but not gone. Still fighting, still sending signals. You can too. Whatever your dark space, your cold, your silence, keep breathing, keep trying, keep believing. Help may come, or you may have to climb out alone. Either way, don't stop, because survival is not the end. It's the beginning of who you become. And if this story moved you, if it reminded you of your strength, please like and subscribe. You're not alone.